Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Kayfabe Central podcast and another episode of the Headlines in Pro Wrestling this week, where we go over all the latest drama, gossip, news, all that good stuff in the world of professional wrestling. I'm your host, Josh. As always, joining me is Stu World Order
Hello.
and Ruan Wrestling.
Hey guys.
So like I mentioned, we're going to go over everything. If you are returning here, welcome back. You know how this works. And if you are new here, welcome to the channel. We're gonna go over some things, some weekly TV stuff. I do the like post shows for the weekly shows, but I don't do those with Stu and Rue, so I'm gonna get them to give their intel on some things. Um, there's not a whole lot in terms of TV recap this week because not a whole lot happened this week on TV. Um, like the only show that had like quite a bit happen was NXT, which we're gonna get into. But before we get into that, make sure you guys leave your comments down below and let us know your thoughts on everything that we talk about. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all the videos, podcasts, and interviews that come to the channel. Check out the Kayfabe Central Discord server. That is linked down below. We also have a non-wrestling channel on that Discord server. So if you want to chat about anything that's non-wrestling related, feel free to. Make sure you check out the Kayfabe Central Ko-Fi page as well. It's $5 minimum to subscribe to the exclusive wrestling content tier. I post some articles there. Most of the articles are on the Kayfabe Central website. But then I post like predictions, stuff like that. Sometimes early podcast access when I feel like it. So go check out the Ko-Fi page. Um, but with that being said, all the self promo out of the way, let's get into something. I don't really have a particular order that we can go through, but let's start with something that's like not a whole lot to talk about. Some trademark stuff. WWE trademarked the name PJ Vasa or Vasa or I don't know. And we found out that it is for Tuilaepa from LFG, who is supposed to be in the finals, and I guess WWE just spoiled LFG for anybody that still watches it. That she is going to be in the finals and is probably going to win the thing since they trademarked her name. Um, so yeah, she's probably going to be on Evolve or NXT. They haven't done much with the season one winners, Jasper Troy and Tyra May Steele. Like Jasper Troy was on NXT this week, and Trick Williams walked into the locker room and was like, "We need a big guy for Team NXT." And Jasper Troy is there, and he's like, "Well, I'm right here." And Trick looks at him, he's like, "Josh Briggs." And I was like, "Okay, fuck Jasper Troy then." Um, so yeah, I don't know if they have a plan for Jasper Troy, and Tyron May Steele was involved with the whole Chelsea Green, Ethan Page, Tavion Heights thing, but hasn't really done much since. Um, yeah, I don't know if you guys have watched LFG to know too much about Penina.
Nope. No, we don't. I can't, there's no channel really for it over here.
Oh,
Um, yeah, no, we get to watch all the adverts for LFG.
mm,
That's fun, but
We get
no, Jasper.
yeah, it's very much.
Yeah, Jasper Troy's a weird one, man. Because when he first built him up big, like he went against Obafemi, held his own, smashed Ricky Saints at one point, and then just like now he's the Timu Josh Briggs.
They were trying to sell the appeal of season two to be like, hey, look what's happening with the season one and why not? And as soon as season two started, they went, all right, cool, we can forget about those. Cool. It started.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
The season two seemed to start about 2 weeks after season one
I know it was
finished.
so fast.
yeah,
It really
and
was.
like season two is almost finished already. I haven't watched a bit
Really?
of season two like at all. I watched season one all throughout. But after that, I was like, like it's like with every reality show, there's always a script to it. Um, and it's like that. This is not. It's not good. It's not interesting anymore. Um, I think it would have been better off just that one season
Yep.
because they did not carry any momentum at all into season two. Like if they had done something bigger with the season one winners, maybe it would have gotten more eyes on LFG. But like Stu said, Jasper Troy kind of did a thing for a few weeks, a month or so, and then just disappeared. Um, and got I don't want to say buried by Trick Williams, but you wanted a big guy for Team NXT. He was right there, and you said, no, let's go with Josh Briggs, who's smaller than Jasper Troy. Um, but sure.
But literally, don't have him in the locker room if you're going to say that, unless you're kind of trying to be like, nah, not Jasper Troy. Do you know what I mean? It was weird. If you want to bury him, do that. If you want to keep him interesting, just don't have him in the locker room when you're talking about having a big guy. It's a very weird, creative decision. Surely you want to keep everybody on your roster looking as strong as possible. Don't mug anybody off.
I think the problem is that like NXT has a lot of stars right now. And like not to say that's like a problem to have a lot of stars and they're like booking a lot of these guys pretty well, but it's a problem when you have new guys coming in and you're like, "Oh wait, we don't have anyone to um put this new guy over." Right? Because we can't do Javon, we can't do Ricky now, we can't do Trick, definitely can't do Oba. There's no one really that can put a new guy over like Jasper Troy because everyone has just slowly become a star.
Yeah. Can I just say 8:47, the 5th of October, Josh said something nice about NXT. Let's mark it down, people. Let's mark it down.
I usually save this episode. I feel like it could be quite a few nice things being said about NXT here.
What's
I
going on?
I actually think that NXT is doing a lot better than Raw and SmackDown at the
I would
moment.
agree. Agreed.
Um,
Right, Josh is clearly drunk.
because like with Raw and SmackDown, it's like the show starts, we have a promo to start, and then a backstage segment, and then a commercial, and then the match, right? With NXT, you don't know what you're gonna get. It's always different every single week, which is a really good thing, right? They don't have a specific format, and the timing and like the format of NXT, and the spacing of everything is a lot better than the main roster.
I agree. It's brilliant. I love it.
Agree.
Um, so yeah, PJ Vasa will probably be on NXT or Evolve soon. Somebody who will not be on NXT or Evolve anytime soon is Edris Enofe, who left WWE. Um, the only statement I've heard from him, and if anyone doesn't know, this was the guy that was in the tag team with Malik Blade for a little bit. Um, the only statement I've heard is that he was like following his gut feeling to leave the company. And I like Idris Enofe. I think he's a good in-ring talent. He was doing this thing in Evolve where he was playing this heel, like he came out to the ring with the robe and everything, and he was just being that like heel that just loves to talk shit. And while that can work, I don't like there's so many people who do that. So it's really hard to stand out with a gimmick like that. Um, but I can definitely see Idris like in a Ring of Honor environment or even an MLW environment, and he could strive there. But yeah, I think he's a good talent. He's obviously not somebody like at like the tippy top that's like promotions and companies are going to be clamoring to sign him. Um, but he's a good enough talent to like make some noise on the indies and maybe better himself.
I learned that he's a time traveler because he said he was leaving, and then the next day WWE announced he was wrestling on Evolve. Just saying,
Oof.
he's a time traveler.
Oh man. He's got a good look. problem is, if you're a heel that talks shit, you need to talk some really, really interesting and entertaining shit. Otherwise, you're just getting lost
Yeah.
in all the other heels that talk shit. It's
Agreed.
yeah, he's got a decent look, but he's not massively a standout. But doesn't mean he's not going to be. He's still very young as well. I'm fairly sure he's quite young, isn't he?
He seems quite young, to be fair. I think MLW is a good shout, actually, you brought up there, Josh. I think he would. He seems. It's weird when you just like. Again, we've been watching wrestling long enough and covering it. It's like, you just look at a wrestler and be like he's a TNA guy. He's an AEW guy. He's an ML. That guy. He seems like an MLW guy. I think that's a good shout.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna kill myself now in front of all your listeners and say, what the frick is MLW now? Why do you keep saying new promotions at me? Now it's more telly I've got to go and watch.
They produce, well, obviously along with many other promotions. I would say they're the ones that you can agree or disagree with, Josh, that Jacob Fatu was got big in MLW. They've
Yeah.
produced some good talent and they kind of work fairly closely with WWE. They're not part of like WWE. I think a lot of the wrestlers do go. Unfortunately, I do think they like to book Matt Riddle quite a lot.
Oh, I know what you're talking about then. Major League Wrestling, yeah?
Yeah, them. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have they end up with their, well, you call them PLEs or whatever on YouTube, don't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and as you said, Matt Riddle wrestles for them quite a bit. Yeah, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not watching Matt Riddle. I'm not watching Matt Riddle.
Not a lot of people. That's fine.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm really nice, bro.
Did you guys see his new gimmick that he's going with in MLW now?
I seen
the
him
rude
fighting a
dude.
podcaster. That's
Yeah, I saw that. Apparently that's a work.
I just seen the
Yeah.
headline and I was like, what is that? But with him, you don't know. I mean, he could well have just attacked somebody because he's a maniac.
I'll watch it, you'll know immediately.
Okay.
He's like, dude, I'm so angry at what you're like saying, man, and I'm gonna throw you very gently over this table, y'all.
Oh, okay.
So his new gimmick is Rude Dude.
The rude dude. Love it.
I love Rue saying it. The rude dude.
The rude dude.
The rude dude.
So yeah, that's the Edris Enofe news. Something that's not necessarily like has to do with any like company or anything, but Braun Strowman has recently talked about him potentially playing Jason Voorhees in the Friday the 13th
I've
movie.
seen this.
And I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean, he's a big guy, and I don't think he's going to be wrestling again anytime soon, unless like he comes back for one more match down the line to put someone like Obafemi over. Um, so I mean,
Great shout.
if he wants to go into acting, go for it.
Yeah.
I think he could play Jason pretty well because it's not someone that like really needs to talk. He just goes around and kills people.
Yeah, as long as they hide the
he's only
Superman
got
tattoo.
yeah.
Jason with a Superman tattoo on his side.
So a bit of background on this. This is where my movie geekness comes out. So this is part of the 40-year, I think it is, celebrations of Friday the 13th. And it's not actually going to be a feature-length film. It's going to be a short film. So I definitely see his ability to do it in a short film. And who knows, it might lead to other things. It might lead to, obviously, if there's enough interest in the short film and the 40th year anniversary and the celebrations around that, then if that's popular enough, then yeah, thinking about, oh, there's money to be made here, let's go and do it. So if obviously he plays Jason Voorhees in the short film and does good, who knows what's next for the lad? But yeah, I think he'd make a great shout. He's like 9'12", weighs about 150 stone, and can still kind of move. It won't be long for us to recognize if that's Braun Strowman behind that mask when he just walks with his little knock knees.
As I was going to say that, at least he doesn't have to run after anyone playing Jason. Plus, Jason can like weirdly teleport as well, so he's fine. He can just teleport around.
I want to see a Jason Voorhees Michael Myers race.
He was slow for a second.
The wrestling fan in me just wants to hear him say at least once in the movie, "I'm not finished with you."
I'm not finished with you.
Like he
You
teleports
won't
to the
get
person he's
me
trying to kill.
here.
I'm not finished with you.
Braun Strowman, man. See when wrestling was like so shit in 2017, he was always a highlight of my Raw. I was a big fan of
Mm.
Braun Strowman at that point. It tapered off when obviously he got a bit slower. No, but as like the monster at that point, I had a great time with Strowman.
Yeah. That triple threat. I can't remember who it was with.
Is that the Brock one?
And was it Roman as well?
I actually can't remember.
And was it
Was
Samoa
it
Joe?
Oh, Samoa Joe, that's the one.
no?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a four-way, wasn't there? That I think was Brock, Roman, and Joe. I was thinking of a triple threat, and the only reason I remember it is because the infamous moment. It was Braun, Brock, and for some reason Kane, and that's the one where
Oh
Brock just decides
yeah.
to just crack Strowman across the face with it, like full on punch him. He was like, "Slow down," and just rocks him.
The most obvious receipt of all times.
But I love how your receipt is just receiving a full blown punch to the face by Brock Lesnar. Like,
By the ex UFC world champion. I'm just
yeah.
gonna smack you right in the temple here. Down on one knee. We're gonna calm down now. Yes, we are. It was the one. It was the one where they threw somebody threw a chair, and
Oh
oh
my
my god,
god, yes. Was that the one at Roman? I think it was
yeah,
that
oh, so good.
the fatal four way.
Some other movie type news in some sort. AEW and DC are doing a crossover comic
Are they?
for the New York Comic Con.
Who
Uh,
brings some of the wildest news by the way to this? I've never even held up.
Are you getting all this on Lad Bible?
follow like every wrestling page, so I just see all these things. Um, but yeah, AEW and DC are doing a crossover comic book for the New York Comic Con. And as a very like geeky person who loves like watching superhero movies and Power Rangers and all that sorts of crap, um, this might actually be pretty cool. On the cover of it, you see like Swerve Strickland on there. You see Hangman Adam Page on there. Mercedes Moné is on the cover.
Of course
Tony Storm is there. Um, yeah, this could be pretty interesting. Like usually when things like this happen, it's never good, but it's like a fun thing to see. Like you're not gonna get like a brilliant storytelling out of this. But it'll be fun and cool to see this.
That's quite cool
There's,
sounding. I'm going to take a wild guess Kenny Omega will be involved in this somehow. It
Yes,
seems like
he
his
is.
wheelhouse. Yeah, it seems like his like almost like his baby right here.
Yeah, Kenny Omega is also on the cover.
there's got to be two things happen. I want to hear Will Ospreay or see Will Ospreay just call Superman bruv, and Mercedes Monet tries to get Batman's belt.
Yeah, I was going to say what would. Oh my god! It took me a second. I was like, for fuck's sake.
Hey,
Yeah, I feel like I would like equally like to see Will Ospreay call Batman bruv, or just call him all bruv to see the reactions to it.
oh, be magnificent. We wear those ears for, bruv.
I mean, I think that'd be cool. I'm intrigued to see what they do. I think, as you said, Josh, a lot of wrestling crossovers like this will never quote unquote good, if you want to subjectively say that. But I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun.
I'm
Yeah.
glad it's AEW doing it and not WWE because then it would be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
They're trying to have Carmelo going over Superman.
Oh my.
No, that would involve putting Carmelo over MD.
Fair point. James Ellsworth.
Yeah.
So let's get into some TV stuff. So the only thing I wrote down for this on Monday Night Raw, was well, Dominic Mysterio retained over Rusev on Monday Night Raw, and I had picked Rusev to win that match because I felt like, he could do good with that Intercontinental Championship. Um, but it seems like they're reheating the Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio thing. So
That's
I can
fine.
see them going towards that route. I just need that to happen already. Um, so yeah, maybe that'll be WrestleMania. I don't know if we should wait that long. But yeah, Dom versus Finn for the IC title should happen pretty soon.
While waiting for that to be for the Findom stuff. That sounded really bad, Findom. Why did I say that? Um, I've just dogged myself in there. Yeah, been a while waiting for that. I was with you, Josh. I actually had Rusev winning this match, and you know what? Right, at the heart of it, I think it shouldn't have gone the way it did because it made Red look a bit stupid. But however, I also equally loved it. Like I just love Dom being a chicken shit heel. He's just the best at it, and when he fails, it's so funny. Like when the Rev belatedly caught him trying to do the Eddie Guerrero, was just like, "Get up! What are you doing?" I can't. That's the the pantomime bit of wrestling, which on some terms is really stupid and a bit unnecessary. But I equally do love it. I would be a hypocrite if I said I didn't enjoy that.
Yeah, that spot was cool. The fact he was like, "You've cheated. I haven't cheated. You've cheated. Don't cheat again," and immediately wins the match by cheating
Yeah.
is magnificent. Josh, I'm going to take umbrage with the fact you said I think Rusev will do a good job with the Intercontinental title. Rusev will not do a good job with the Intercontinental title because he's not good. He's only good when he's slapping meat with big man. Rusev looks to me, and I know this might be a hot take actually. I'm very rarely with my hot takes. I don't think Rusev is good. I don't think Rusev's character is good. I don't think his finish is good. I think he looks like a guy. Everything about him says he should be terrifying because he's a big dude and he moves really well. But he looks like a guy who's pretending to be scary all the time. That big, he does stuff. Just nope. You know when you like get really angry and somebody starts laughing at you? That's kind of what I think Rusev's like. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm met with stony silence there, and now I'm just like,
No,
oh.
no, it's like no, I completely understand that point because like that's something I've agreed with you on before. The fact that like he doesn't need to try to be scary. The guy, like you said, looks scary in itself. Like his walk down to the
Exactly.
ring where he just has a mean mug on, that's fine enough. Like you see that walking down towards the ring towards you, you're gonna be like, oh shit. Um, but then when he does like the obnoxious scream, you're right. It is kind of funny. It was like, oh, okay, buddy.
Calm down. I honestly think he's like the less is more guy. And I
Yeah.
think he needs a finisher that's not the was it the accolade?
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I judge people by finishes. And that to me is just and then there's sometimes where he sort of turns him around, doesn't he? So he's on his back and it's just like he needs the match kick isn't good enough. Um yeah, I don't know. It just needs a bit of fine tuning, I think Rusev does, to just be Monster Hill, come out, say little, smash people about, get a destructive finisher. That like, like a devastating when you're like Brock's F5, something like that, where it's just like when you know it's about to happen, it's like game over. But the stamp on the back, yeah, I just can't get on with Rusev at the moment. I don't know why. I mean, I said this about Alistair Black as well, and I've changed my tune completely on him.
Rusev's an interesting one for me because I agree with it that Rusev he's not the flashiest of wrestlers, so he doesn't have a lot going there. I think he's at his best when it's the character work, but specifically when he's with someone else. So like when he was doing the Russian stuff, obviously with Lano, even though he
Yeah,
wasn't Russian, whatever. We had the Russian
he's
that all,
European.
yeah, yeah. And then he did then obviously how over Rusev Day got alongside Aiden English. I think when he has someone obviously because I mean when Rusev wants to cut an impassionate promo, that's not too wordy. I think he's good at it. But
Yeah.
when you're trying to get across, have an actual promo back and forth with people, I think he struggles a lot, and that's when he needs a Lano, he needs an Aiden English. So when he can what play that character who then just goes in and, as you said, just beats the living shit out of someone. I think that's where he really excels. So being kind of on his own at the minute, I do think he would struggle and need someone with him. Because he can be, like you said, the guy's freaking terrifying. I don't want to go up to him and
Yeah.
say to him, "It's crap." Like, I don't want to be doing that. So
Well,
yeah,
Well,
the
face
guy
to
does.
face, he'd be
you're
the
not
greatest
scary
wrestler
enough,
I've ever
Rusev.
seen.
I know. Imagine saying, "Rusev, oh, you're not screwing enough."
You're not scary
Um,
enough.
I just screams in my face. But yeah, look, he's got it in him. And I think that, like, I think he needs someone. I don't know who, if they were going to do that, who that could be. Maybe they just bring Lana, because him, I was kind of off topic. Him and Lana, Bat or CJ Penn, they're back together now, aren't they? Maybe not like officially married again, but I think they're back
Yeah, I
together.
think so.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they could bring Hall back, I suppose, if they want to do a mouthpiece. Or I mean, we could get whatever, I can't remember what Aiden English's name is, the commentator on TNA. We could get him back into the actual the main roster.
oh,
Do we want
so
that?
Lana is actually signed to a Legends deal for WWE.
Oh, is she?
So she's there. I just don't know
Oh,
why they haven't used her.
I did not know that. Fair enough.
Yeah. So when they signed Rusev, they also signed Lana to a Legends deal.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, well, you would
I
assume
just,
then that they would use her.
yeah, I just think stick everybody with a Miz. If you need a mic, just stick him with a Miz.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Like
Just stick him.
you're rubbish on the mic. Go with Miz. It's fine.
It's literally that. Just stick him like move over to SmackDown, and when Carmelo finally takes on the Miz, then just like have Rusev come out and smash him up.
So something else that happened on Monday Night Raw, we got names for the other El Grande Americanos. So Tyler Bate is Bravo, and Pete Dunne is what is it,
What
Rayo.
what are you on about? Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate? Who are you talking about?
I was going to say that's massively presumptuous of you, Josh. There has been no evidence to suggest it's Tyler Bate or Pete Dunne. How dare you? How dare
Just
you? They're
because
neither.
the one that looked like Tyler Bate had to wear a wrist sleeve that could potentially cover up any potential tattoos that he may or may not have on his arm doesn't mean it's Tyler Bate.
And I think you'll find that Tyler Bate is not from the Gulf of America.
He's from Dudley.
Um,
Right there, mate. I'm Il Grande Americano.
It's so
that's what this is, guys. This is just stupid, but it's funny.
yeah.
Because I'm actually kind of disappointed that they didn't just stick with them being El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
So it's like El Grande Americano and Americano.
No, it would have been better. What was it Wade Barrett said in commentary? He was like, "Oh, they like asexually reproduce. We just get more El Grandes," and I'm like, "That's the storyline we should have went with."
Oh my God.
I don't know how I feel about it. I will say that the apparent Ludwig Kaiser, is doing a fantastic job. Also, is it weird that is it weird that we were taking what was it? I can't remember who her name was now, but was taking the mick out of Rio last week, and now all of a sudden we've got a Rayo.
Oh yeah, Rayo. I can't remember who it was. I was. I
Joking?
don't know. I'm like, it may have been. I'm so torn on this. I really am because the purist in me goes. I know we're just taking the piss, but the purist within me goes, "That was Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. What are we doing?" However, I would be a massive hypocrite if I didn't say that I fucking enjoyed every moment of it. I like was watching it. And I was like, it's like we don't want to see Ludwig doing this, but he's so good at it that it's entertaining as all hell. And I'm like,
Yeah,
well, if it's entertaining, why am I complaining? So,
that's literally it, innit? You get angry. You know when somebody tells you a really crap joke and then you laugh at it and you get angry at yourself for laughing at it? Like, how dare I
yeah,
find that funny? What am
yeah,
I? Who am I? It's kind
yeah.
of like that. You're like, I
It
shouldn't
is.
be enjoying this. And I
But they're
feel like,
doing so well.
yeah, I feel like as a wrestling connoisseur, I should be like rubbishing this. But then secretly, like under your cover at night time, you've got a torch on and you've got like the phone out and you're watching El Grande Americano enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's the thing. Like one of my favorite matches of all time is Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate at NXT Takeover Chicago in 20. Oh, I want to say either 17 or 18. I can't quite remember for the NXT UK Championship. It's one of my favorite matches of all time. Um, and part of me just wants that. Just wants to see like the Bruiserweight back, or the big strong boy and Tyler Bate back. However, if they're also not going to use them, they can go and
Exactly.
do this, and it's amazing. I absolutely love it, and I also equally absolutely hate it. I'm so torn, but I do. I think it's fantastic what they're doing.
Do you know what we've got to look forward to as well? We still have Chad Gable to bring back into the mix at
We do,
some point.
yes.
So, you know,
We
that
need
is kind of something to look forward to.
see if you put this. I was actually thinking this for the match on Monday, and it's funny you brought it up because I thought this. Well, even you put if you think about that as well, potentially something that like I don't know a mania if we had a big split up. The match on Monday, we just got a match between Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, Dragon Lee, and AJ Styles. What sort of weird dream match was that just on a run Monday Night Raw? Then you just brought up the fact, imagine they did do this like a big, the breakdown of the Americanos or whatever on like WrestleMania. We got it's technically a fatal four way between like Ludwig Kaiser, Chad Gable, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate. That sounds amazing if you just put them their names like that. Like
What are we, what are we going to call Grant Gable when he comes back?
just El El
El Grande
Gable.
Americano.
Yeah, just El Ga. El, no, what was it called? El. He'll need to take the title as that. So Ludwig Kaiser will need to be El Hijo del El Grande Americano. There we go.
Chad Grande Amerigable.
Yes, let's go with that.
I tell you what, though, this could have like NWO Wolfpack thing going all on.
I
Everybody's
think
just
so.
going to join one side or the other. War games.
I think I don't see because of how I just brought up because of how Mexican wrestling works with like the El Hijo stuff, like the son of like as you said, they're not gonna, but this thing could run for like years if they wanted to make it as ridiculous as possible. Like,
Before they're all confused, like, am I a luchador now? I don't know.
I think so.
I feel like I need to take a test.
Um, so nothing else really of importance happened on Monday Night Raw. Um,
Roman came back.
He said of importance.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
yeah, it's like 30
It's
seconds.
like his fifth return.
Um, there was that Bailey and Lyra did their thing again, just with a little bit of tweaks in there. Um,
Oh,
nothing to talk about there. Let's talk about NXT. Because this coming Tuesday we have NXT Showdown, which was initially called NXT Invasion. Now, um, this is ridiculous that they've changed its name. So they changed the name because people in Israel have gotten offended. And for those of you that don't know, because clearly there's people that don't know, the V in invasion is supposed to stand for versus. And there was people in Israel going, "Oh, it's an upside down triangle. You know, this is like whatever. This is not propaganda, guys. This is when because we've done an invasion show before in 2001,
mhm.
the same exact logo, but there's kids now who weren't alive there and can't use their brains properly apparently. Um and got offended that they did this on a October 7th when whereas if this were on like a Wednesday or any other day it would have been fine. Um, this is not anything extra. And by the way, I'm a guy who's defending the WWE right now, and also a guy who hates everything WWE does politically. I think a lot of the things they do politically is disgusting, and they shouldn't involve themselves in. Um, but this is ridiculous. It's been called Invasion in 2001, and they were just trying to um carry on that legacy and do better with another invasion show. Because the 2001 Invasion we all know was dog shit. It was dog shit. Um, and they were just trying to, clear our memories of that by doing a better Invasion show. But no, guys, we live in 2025 and people are very sensitive. So they changed the name to NXT Showdown instead, and it's just a big red W that means fuck all. Um, so yeah, it's called NXT Showdown, and I give NXT credit for how they did this rather than having Ava, just announce that, oh, it's now called NXT Showdown. They had Santino Marella, Ava, um, and we'll get into like the teams for NXT and TNA. They kicked off NXT with Ava, Ricky Saints, and JC Jane in the ring. Santino Marella came out, and he was like, "I don't trust Tricky Williams to run Team TNA. However, I'll choose Mike Santana, but." For the women's side of things, there is an NXT superstar that I trust to run Team TNA. That's Kalani Jordan. Um, which I'm gonna get into. I'm gonna break down the teams in a second. But the way Santino did this was he was like, "This is not an invasion. We've been working together for quite some time. This is a showcase, and no, it's a showdown." So I give them props for trying to do something with that rather than just having an announcement that it's just the name has changed. Before I get into the rest of NXT, do you guys have thoughts on that?
So yeah, I agree. I think it was really, really dumb. I think it's particularly what I'm. I'm not trying to compare situations here. I'm not, but I just find it really weird that when fans have like, I think very, very like correct gripes with WWE and bring stuff up to them, like you were talking about like the ticket pricing. I brought it up recently about that fan who kind of had a go, rightfully so, at Nick Khan to be like, hey, these are like what's up with the ticket prices, and he was like, oh, they're too low. And you're like, shut up. So like they have absolute no, I don't know, just like respect in that sense. But as soon as they get like a bit of a wrist slap from someone across the world who's in power, they shit the bed and they're like, "Oh no, I'm sorry," and do this. So I don't know. I was just watching. It. I was like, I'm not trying to compare the two situations, but at the same time, I was a bit like, oh, what the hell? But yeah, no, I think it's ridiculous. But hey, what it is, I'm looking forward to the show, and we'll get into that.
It was yeah, it was very much somebody in an office somewhere shat himself. It's like,
Yep.
whoa, I don't want none of this heat at all. I'm gonna pour some cold water on that right now. I can't so it's stupid. It's stupid that it's an issue, as in somebody's made it an issue where it's clearly, if you think about it for 3.5 seconds, you'll know it's not an issue.
Yep.
Once it was made an issue, I actually, and you know me, I'm never going to defend WWE corporate for anything ever, but I kind of half understand. Look, it's not a big deal if we change the name. It might be a big deal eventually if we don't. So let's just do it quick. Let's just do it now. I kind of half get they just don't want to play with that game at all. But it's dumb. It was a thing that was even a thing. And all anybody's got to do is look back to 2001, look at the logo and the graphic for Invasion, and say, "Oh, hey, that's exactly the same as it was 24 years ago," and they weren't making a political point then. So yeah,
Yeah.
dumb that it had to be a thing. I actually kind of half, and this is the only time, and I feel cheap and dirty and disgusting saying this,
Clip
but
this now.
I kind of half understand where they were coming from. We don't need this kind of problem in our lives, so let's just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so later on in the night, the teams were put together in a variety of different segments. At the end of the show, we got the announcement of all the teams. On the men's side for NXT, we have Ricky Saints, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and Miles Bourne. Um, However, on the men's TNA side of things, it looks a little bit better. You have Mike Santana, Frank Kazarian, Moose, and Leon Slater. I can see Trick Williams being the reason that Team NXT lose that match. Um, on the women's NXT side of things, it's and like this, the women's 4-4 is where it gets a little bit right? Because on the women's NXT side of things, we have JC Jane, we have Lola Vice, Jada Parker, and shit, who was
Sol
the
Ruka.
oh, you're right.
Sol
So
Ruka.
Sol Ruka
The
makes
good
sense.
one.
Yeah, Sol Ruka makes sense because that's your only double champ. So it makes sense to put her on there. Now for the TNA side of things is where it gets a little bit interesting and weird and just
Oh,
kind of
God.
bad.
Mm.
Because the four women on Team TNA are all ex WWE talent. And that really made me realize it's like, damn, TNA really doesn't have any like homegrown talent, right? Because on TNA side of things, you have Kalani Jordan, you have Mara Sade, aka Jakara Jackson, and then you have the Inspiration, aka the Iconics, who once upon a time won the tag titles at WrestleMania. So, um, I think that it's just gonna be the NXT girls going over in that match. And then TNA wins the men's side of things. But yeah, what do you guys think of those teams?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that. The men's match, firstly, I think actually looks incredible. Mostly, but I totally agree. I had the thought, and you've mentioned it there, that I said I don't know if we'll do a predictions version or not, but like I'm going to do one anyway on TikTok. But I agree. I think the men's match for NXT, I think they'll be costed by Trick Williams being Trick Williams. I do believe that is what will happen. You'll be too cocky, but I'm looking forward to that match. I'm just saying, by the way, Leon Slater and Javon Evans as a tag team, yes, please. um,
Yep.
Mm.
that was ridiculous. But yeah, the women's one was interesting to say the least. I think there's still a big question mark around. They also addressed it earlier on in the show around Joe and Jordan, more so Jordan Grace, I would say, than Joe. I think there's a big question mark around there. Maybe this forms something going forward. But yeah, in the match itself now, I appreciate that we are also joined with Stu, the biggest Miss Parker fan in the world.
Ah,
And I
what a
love me a
gal.
Jada Parker. I love me a Jada Parker. But with Farah said being on the other team, I think Lash Legend maybe should have been on Team NXT just for that little crossover. But anyway, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. Um, but yeah, I also loved that Kalani totally didn't spoil. Well, she didn't exactly, but kind of spoil who will be the new TNA Knockout Division Tag Team Champions at all. But yeah, it feels a little thin on the women's side, but I'm sure it'll still be fine. But yeah, I agree with you, Josh. When they will announce everyone, you do kind of have to take a step back and be like, damn, like especially with also the blow of them recently losing Ash by Elegance, the TNA Knockouts division is very not too stacked, and actually there's not too much homegrown talent. They do have two great um wrestlers that have recently signed from like the UK Indies. They've got Mila Grace, who I believe is a Northern Irish wrestler, and they have Harley Hudson,
Yeah,
who is
yeah.
who they're both fantastic. So maybe one day they can get pushed up to there. But at the minute, obviously, they're a little loose on having MD in there that's not ex WWE.
Yeah, and I always hate it when you've got these like 4-on-4 tags or whatever they are, like Survivor Series style matches. I hate it when you put a tag team in one of the teams.
Yeah,
Because the thing that's always like I kind of, if they were going to do it, I would have liked what's her name, Zarya in with Sol Ruka. But
mm-hmm.
so when they didn't do that on the WWE side of things, NXT side of things, I thought, well, that's good then. We're going to have four separate people in the team. I was kind of hoping they'd do that on the TNI side as well, but obviously the Iconics or whatever they're called now, both in, which, as you say, does just underline how thin they are in the Knockouts division. Harley Hudson was literally wrestling over here like a
Yeah,
week or 2 weeks
she's
ago.
fantastic.
She's so good, so good. And Myla Grace is really good as well. So that I think they'll go far in TNA.
I hope so. I hope they do.
Yeah. But the men's side of things, that's going to be such a good match. Gutted Josh Briggs isn't in it.
Tell me about it.
Bit gutted about it. I do like Miles Bourne though. But hopefully there was maybe enough of a bit of a beef between Matt Cardona and Josh Briggs in that match that yeah, there might be something between those two. But bit gutted he didn't win.
I would
But
have
Miles
loved him to
Bourne's
be
really
there.
good. Yeah, me too. No, that will be a really good match. And as we all know, Dickie Williams is going to cost them badly.
I imagine so. That's a question actually, because it's one what I'm going to do my predictions this week coming, and I didn't know where to put this. Do we think we're going to get another match added in Cardona and Briggs? Because not to have Cardona on the card seems kind of mental. He's such a big name. Or do we see that get added to Bound for Glory?
So
I'd rather it on Showdown.
yeah. So I was gonna bring up Cardona actually, and yeah, we can definitely go into some predictions here for Showdown and the show that they're also counter programming on Tuesday. Um Matt Cardona helped out Miles Bourne beat Josh Briggs. And the way they played it out on commentary was he's trying to impress Santino Marella. Matt Cardona was not chosen for Team TNA. So I want to assume that like Ru said, we get Cardona versus Josh Briggs because I think that while the TNA team looks pretty good, you could have put Matt Cardona in there, and this is why I think they should have done 5-on-5 instead.
Absolutely agree.
Yep.
But I guess not. One thing that I enjoyed the most on this week of NXT was Mustafa Ali confronting Ethan Page. And that is a match we are getting for the North American Championship at Showdown. I am excited for this match. So excited for this match. This is a 2-year story because Mustafa Ali never got that North American title match, but this is exactly what they should do. And apparently this was Shawn Michaels' doing because Mustafa Ali was nervous to come back, and Shawn pretty much just told him he's like, you know, you have every reason to. You like just go out there and be you and just like you have every reason to be mad out there. So go ahead and do that. So that's exactly what Mustafa Ali did. So I shout out to Shawn Michaels for I guess persuading Mustafa Ali a little bit to get out there. I do think that Ethan Page is going to end up retaining. I mean it would be interesting though to see Mustafa Ali win that North American title. Um, but with everything that's going on in TNA with Order 4 and the system, I don't know how him holding the North American title would fit into that picture. Um, so I can just see Ethan Page retaining the North American title.
Yeah, I was a big fan of this. I was really happy that they brought up the sorry, I just knocked my mic. um, I was really happy that they brought up the past because as soon as I seen Mustafa, I was like, please do the bring up what happened before, and they did. I'm glad they ran with it. Now I don't know if I'm making this up. I don't think I am because I swear I remember hearing it somewhere. I don't know if it was on a podcast or if it was news that came out that when they cancelled the original Mustafa and Dom Mysterio match. Apparently Sean was furious. He was so angry because it wasn't a decision that came from him to release Mustafa. And it completely messed up his plans. So I didn't know that story that you brought up there about Sean having that wee pep talk with him. I'm so glad he did that. That's adorable to hear. Because I don't think I'm making up. I do remember there being something about Shawn Michaels being absolutely furious
Yeah,
with how he was, yeah, how it was handled. But yeah, I agree. I really, really want Mustafa to win this, but I just don't quite see it fit into storyline. Like it would be nice for TNA to actually win one belt off of NXT. And I know it's like see if it happens, I ain't gonna complain. But yeah, I don't see how it quite fits. But I'm very happy for Mustafa Ali. He's one of the most underrated talents out there. He's so good.
I enjoyed the really impassioned promo from Mustafa Ali. I really enjoyed Ethan Page's basic I'm gonna paraphrase his response there. But it was like a 2 minute impassioned thing about how he'd been cheated out of it and blah 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 before. And even Page was like, I don't give a shit. That has nothing to do with me, bro. And you know my theory on this. If Ethan Page loses, he goes straight up to the main roster. If not, keep the belt on him. Don't you take that belt off that man and keep him in NXT.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. He's got the Obafemi issue. Which is another thing, I guess, is definitely symbolism for like, Obafemi going to the main roster. Because why the hell would you not have him on Team NXT if he wasn't?
Oh my god, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
He would be pick #1, wouldn't he? Oh, but
I thought he was going to
get
be.
here.
I thought Ricky was going to do that and be like, "Oh, like I've just went into war with this man. I want him in my team." But no mention of Obafemi at all.
No, that's actually a very big indicator of the fact he won't be around.
Yeah.
There was a report that came out from Fightful that said WWE is holding the like call-ups they're doing very close to the chest, so they're not letting anyone in on the information on who's getting called up, which I can appreciate,
Good.
but also make me
Absolutely.
think that people are definitely getting called up, and Obafemi could definitely be one of them.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
like that. It's about time we had some surprises again, rather than so and so's being called up to the
Yeah,
main
no.
roster this week and stuff. It'd be lovely to like somebody rocks up on SmackDown or Raw for a proper oh my god moment because it's going to be a huge moment when Obafemi turns up. Like oh damn.
Yeah, I hated when he started doing that. Like, as much as I appreciate them doing the likes of like the draft and it being obviously not scripted for some of the NXT talent, as much as I can imagine, I appreciate that's a cool moment for them. Um, I just, and the selfish part of me, but I think most people would agree, the fact that like having the surprise call, like I just like you go back to after WrestleMania in 20, what would have been WrestleMania 33 was it in 2017, I believe. Where the light, I can't remember who it was against. Probably, I think it was either Ziggler or the Miz because they're the two that always got picked on for the cops. And the lights went out, and then you just heard the screech of Shinsuke's violin, and it was like,
Oh, what a
hell
moment!
yes. Like I missed
What an
that.
entrance that was.
Oh no, exactly. Like I should having that surprise call, even though like in your heart, so you're like, right, he's gonna get called up, or they're gonna get called up, blah 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 blah. Having that surprise, I think Bobby Roode had a great surprise as well, coming up to the main roster. So I miss that.
Yeah, it'd be nice that will. I think it'd be a good moment for everyone.
Yeah.
Even when Drew got called up, it was like, oh shit,
Oh,
Drew's
he
here.
even came back with the mania, yeah.
Yeah. I think that was pretty cool. And like, because he was in NXT when he came back, and when he popped up on Raw to help Ziggler, we were like, oh my God, Drew's here.
I know. Forgot it was a team, Drew and Ziggler.
God, yeah.
Yeah, Raw Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, they were. Damn, I completely forgot about that.
Um, I don't think we did the predictions for the women's 4-4. I think
Yeah,
that that's
nobody
gonna
can.
be Team WWE.
Yeah, I agree as well. As I said, I feel like Jordan Grace is going to play into this somehow. Don't know how, well or not, or
Is
what
she
side
not a
she's going to
special
be
guest
in.
referee? No, I genuinely think I read
Wait,
that somewhere.
actually, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, actually, yeah,
Oh,
I swear I read somewhere that she's going to be the referee for the match.
um, maybe.
I'm.
I've.
You guys talk amongst yourselves for a second because
Well, I definitely think somehow Hart and Joe. I mean, also they brought it up. They played into the show more so Jordan, I think, than Joe. I don't because like even the main event, but I don't really see how Joe fits in. Um, which is sad to say, but it just is what it is. But yeah, I think Jordan Gray, especially coming off of the win against Blake Monroe, I feel like he's got to play a part somehow.
yeah, this is on Wrestling Inc. .com. WWE NXT GM Ava signs TNA WWE star as ref to the women's NXT versus TNA Showdown match. Jordan Grace.
Oh, well, there you go.
I had news before Josh had news. Come on.
Yeah, I had no idea about this. But I don't know if I like that too much though. I feel like you could have involved her in some other
Yeah.
capacity. Um, if she wasn't,
Well,
a piece of shit, you could have had Tessa Blanchard on there.
I love that she's just not on these at all. They're like completely just, she's cut from NXT.
Yeah.
She's just like a silhouette question mark figure.
Um, the other person in question, Joe Hendry, made a video on Instagram saying that someone will say his name at Showdown and he will appear. So we can expect Joe Hendry to be there as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this has the potential to be really good. And I am excited for this. Um, Now I don't have the full match card for Dynamite Title Tuesday in front of me. But that is what's going head to head with NXT Showdown. I don't know how this is gonna work for me with my TikTok live and coverage and all that. I might not even go live on TikTok because my brain just gonna be too clustered with everything going on. Um, but yeah, AEW Title Tuesday is going down, which from what I saw, and I can't even remember some of the matches, but when I initially saw it, I remember going, okay, this actually doesn't look bad at all. Um I know we were supposed to have Kyle Fletcher first, hologram, and we're gonna get into some AEW Dynamite stuff. Um I guess we can get into that now, actually, because do you guys have any other thoughts about Showdown?
Yeah, we've got the tag team match.
Oh, right, the tag team
Oh,
match. Hardy Boys are gonna win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Oh, okay, cool. Keep on.
Yeah.
and if
That
they
was
don't,
cool
we
about
riot.
AEW.
No one cares about Dark State, not even NXT. It's fine.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. Wouldn't that then be the stupid thing that, like, yeah, we'll give them both the titles? Because why not?
Well,
Were they even on NXT this week?
I think they
No.
did a no. Well, I don't think they will. No, no.
No, they weren't.
Exactly. They don't care. They don't
No,
care. But plus,
all
on
they did was
object.
a vignette for the Hardy Boys and Dark Side.
Okay, okay. Yeah, no, that's weird.
Uh,
Like they don't care, and from like an actual genuine like series point of view as well, it makes no sense because with the Hardy Boys going in to face the Dudleys for the knockout belts at Bound for Glory, the whole thing is it's around those belts one last time. And it's like, what's the point if they don't have the belt? Well, not what's the point, but you know what I mean? It seems rather anticlimactic if, oh wait, sorry, we lost the belts. It's no longer for the belts. Like,
Although
like booking yourself into a dumb corner.
yeah.
I just had a thought that very well could happen, and I
You're
didn't
about to
have.
say they're going to add Dark State to that match. I'm going to
You're
leave.
going to triple threat it, aren't you?
I I am. However, I think that there's a chance that Dark State is on the verge of winning those TNA titles and Team 3D comes out and disrupts the match.
Okay, I can maybe see something like that.
That's fine. I'm okay with
Yeah.
that. I'm
Um,
gutted that it's not Edge and Christian. I'm just saying.
because realistically, Team 3D versus the Hardys is not going to be a good match. It's going to be
That's gonna be terrible.
terrible. So maybe adding some young guns into that match might not be a terrible idea, because I don't think that the whole Hardy Boys versus Team 3D thing is going over as well as TNA thought it was. I haven't seen a whole lot of people genuinely excited for this match. I think because
it's
everybody knows it's not gonna be a good match.
yeah, I think we know what we're kind of used to also with the Hardys now. We know what we're going to get, and also can't go to it. It's more the Dudley Boys I'm worried about. I think everyone's sort of the same. I'm slightly worried about, and more specific, I'm worried about what Jeff's going to do to one of the Dudley Boys.
Kill them, or at
Yeah,
least seriously
like
harm them. And that's
like
going to be
Devon
Devon.
can barely walk.
I know. I mean,
Guys,
not that it stopped the great Carly for many years.
I've just made sense of this whole thing. Cutler James and Bubba Ray.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I forgot
Long-term
about
storytelling,
Right.
guys.
Maybe that's how he gets
that's how
kicked
we're
out
gonna
of Dark State. Bubba Ray injures him. Maybe he does the bubble bomb, and then Cutler James is just gone.
Oh, it's going to be a disaster. Glorious, glorious disaster.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's get into AEW Dynamite. Some AEW Dynamite was actually pretty solid this week. They had some pretty solid matches. However, it's what started the show that got everybody talking. We had a trios match. It was Kenny Omega, and I don't have these in front of me, so I'm going purely off memory at the moment. It was Kenny Omega and Bro Dito taking on the Young Bucks and was it Josh Alexander?
I think so. I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Um I believe it was Josh, if I'm not mistaken. Um yes, it was Josh. So yeah, that was the trios match, and Brodito and Kenny ended up winning that match. And after the match, there was a 3-on-1 beatdown. Jurassic Express then came out and confronted the Young Bucks. We also had a thing where Jack Perry confronted Kenny Omega, because why wouldn't he? You know, just because Jurassic Express is back together doesn't make their problems go away. So I kind of like that. But then Jack Perry still went after the Young Bucks and they fought to the back. Uh, Bro Dito, by the way, just left. They were like, ah, job's done. We're going home. So Kenny Omega stuck around, did his little promo, said thank you to the fans. He said goodbye and good night, and bang. As soon as he said bang, the lights went out. When the lights come back on, behind him is Andrade, and he attacks Kenny Omega and joins the Don Callis family. Not the only person that joined the Don Callis family on this episode of Dynamite. Um, but yeah, firstly, let's talk about that. Andrade is back in AEW. That didn't take long at all.
I don't care. He could have went anywhere and it would be so much more entertaining. Like I said this to you, I was like, at what point does Andrade become the problem? Um, like, what has Tony possibly promised him now? I think you made the joke, Josh, and be like, oh, he's probably like, you can't jump between companies in the hope that one of them takes pity on you and gives you a world championship. Um, I don't know. I don't have much to say. I'm not. He's such a fantastic wrestler. He is. I'm not gonna. Like, he's so good. Um, but I don't care.
He's he is so good in the ring. I think he just wants to go where the wellness policy is at its least stringent. Mate, come on,
I
you know when you
think.
keep going back to your ex-missus and then you like get bored of us, then you go back to your ex-missus again. And then you're like, oh, well, actually I want to be back with the ex-missus again. Just and why are promoters not learning lessons?
Yeah,
Wow, we had him
you would
last
think.
time and it's like, get him back again. Dude, I swear
Yeah.
Tony Khan sometimes just hires people for that one pop. And it's like, we'll figure out what to do him later. Stick him with the Don Callis family. Everybody else is in there. We'll just lose him in the shuffle. It'll be fine.
I
Not
think
enough
like
Mexicans in there.
oh my god, I about it. I think as well, like I hate saying this, it sounds like such a dickish thing to say, but like I think the whole him coming back to WWE, and I can understand this because you would want to just to make it easier. I think probably a massive part of that was probably at the time, obviously, Charlotte being at WWE. And at the time they were also still together. I don't want to sit and say, "Oh no, they're broken up." Like they can. I don't want. I don't think that's it. But I feel like that original rehiring that probably did play a big part because it would just makes it a lot easier on the two of these. I know it's not the be all end all. Like it just would be nicer, but obviously with them no longer being together, plus Andrade's issues, let's just call it that, within WWE now, I think it just made a perfect storm for him to be like, right, I'm out of here. We don't want anything with you. But yeah, I don't know, just like, see, even if he came back and went to CMLL, still within the AEW sphere, I think that would have been at least a bit more exciting. He just came back to Dynamite, and I just have no faith in them doing anything with him. I just don't know where he fits into any of it, to be truly honest.
No, is he probably maybe just had to get back breaking wellness policies because he kept having to run into his ex-missus backstage at SmackDown every week.
How many
I know
times do
I
you
need
think
to
he
be a
asked to
little
get
bit.
Yeah, like how many times do you think he asked to get transferred to Raw? He's like, please send me over
I'll go to NXT. I don't care. This is just getting mad awkward.
I would have taken Andrade in NXT for a bit, to be honest. Like,
Absolutely. Just shut up and wrestle, bro. That's all you
I
need to
know,
do.
exactly.
I think AEW is a place where um it's really just for like to put on good matches. Obviously they have storyline aspects to it, but If like they don't have big plans for you, all you really need to do is go out and put on good matches week to week, which is something Andrade is very capable of doing. Um,
Absolutely.
I think like you can tag him with Hechicero, who's also in the Don Callis family.
True, true.
Um, I think he could do a pretty solid job in AEW. I don't see him getting elevated to world title status. There is multiple people in the Don Callis family I see getting to that level. Instead of Andrade. Like obviously Okada is a main focal point in there. Takeshita is a focal point in there. Kyle Fletcher is also a champion in there. Um,
You got MJF still as well.
I think Andrade is just muscle for the Don
Yeah.
Callis family, and I actually am not opposed because I guess we'll get into this. Kyle Fletcher defended his TNT title against Orange Cassidy on Dynamite. It was supposed to be against Hologram, but Hologram actually has a real injury to the same leg he's injured before. So no idea how long he's going to be out. And I get the inclination that it's going to be a while because Orange Cassidy lost this match due to Hologram coming out and costing OC the match. Everyone thought, what the hell? A hologram just turned on the conglomeration. But then I was like, this is the clone thing, isn't it? And it was. El Clone has joined the Don Callis family.
El Hijo Dev hologram.
Yeah. Um, so that's fun. Um,
I'm delighted that match didn't happen. I'm not delighted Hologram's injured, but I'm delighted that match didn't happen. I think it was too early for that match. You've got a great undefeated streak by Hologram, which didn't need to end anytime soon. And you got Kyle Fletcher, who needs to kind of stay quite unbeatable at the moment. So, especially after losing to Hangman. So I'm really, really happy that match actually didn't happen in the end. Sad, obviously, that Hologram's out. But now we have the hologram of a hologram. So, yay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, but I like hologram. That's just not shit timing for him and everything. Though just when you were bringing up some names, I kind of going back to I like goes back to the Andrade thing. I would quite happily see him in like a triple threat, like we seen with Mascara Dorado last time. Give him Takeshita and Okada. I'd happily see him in there. I just would, but otherwise, see you in the buy-in, I suppose.
What a long queue it is for that world title, though.
I
Like
know.
there are a lot of nearly men there now. It's actually like if you think about the WWE title compared, I know I keep going to comparisons, but the WWE title pictures compared to the AEW title picture and the amount of names you've got sniffing around the AEW title picture is actually freaking exciting. We know MJF's next in line. After that, just a raft of contenders, which is really good.
Yeah, I think as well what AEW did really well, even with the women's division last time, because I've been saying it for a while on the fact that they kind of booked themselves into a corner with having Tony Storm and Mercedes hold their two women's championships. Because like, there's who's going to beat them, and they were willing to take that chance and that shock chance of having Chris Statlander beat Tony Storm. And imagine that opens up the field as well, I think, on the women's side to so many other people coming into the
Yeah,
main event.
really does.
Whereas WWE just seem terrified to do that anymore. There's just no shock value, particularly also around the world titles. Like, it doesn't happen unless it's some Money in the Bank cashing, and it just really narrows the field and who you're going to
Was you
get.
not slightly shocked that Steph Faker beat IO?
I mean, to be truly honest, like for me, no, I
Nah, me neither.
wasn't. I wasn't like yeah, like obviously like fantastic match, but they wasn't forced into that position. But like having just like I think everyone's been saying a lot, particularly look at like the Cody Rhodes side. Like
Oh
I would
God.
love for it to be like for Drew to have just beat him, or if they gave Cody a match against Aleister Black and Black just beat him. It's going back to that like because if you go and like use the comparison, we go back to the ruthless aggression. That's why it works so well because WWE were just in a state of like we need to create big stars. They just lost Stone Cold. They just lost The Rock. We need these next stars, so they would hotshot the title a lot. And I know sometimes it's not the greatest, but it makes, because we tried it with Randy Orton, we tried it with Cena, we tried it with Batista, we tried it with Edge, and these are all guys who went on to become Hall of Famers and the best of, literally greatest of all time. So sometimes it
Yeah,
does
at one point,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
there was no the guy for a while, was there? And that made
It
a
wasn't.
really interesting division. Sadly, now both on Raw and SmackDown, you've got the guy, which is
Yep.
Cody and Seth Rollins, and no contenders for the guys being made. Because if you look at it, let's be honest, Cody Rhodes' major challenge is going to be Randy Orton, who
It
is
is. Like,
522 years old.
and that's the point. We
And
already know that. Like,
exactly
there's
that.
no
We
there's no
already know
surprise.
that. No, that's the next challenger. So yeah, I
Yeah.
get completely what you mean. They're not making contenders at all.
Yeah.
Because they're so scared of taking the titles off the people they've got at the moment. Because obviously, Tiffy, I've got no problem with holding the title at the moment because I don't think Nia Jax needs it again. I don't think Jade Cargill's ready for it. But what they're not doing is making somebody else even look like a challenger at the moment. So I don't know. They need to build some people under the people.
Yeah.
I apologize if you guys just heard a thud. My mic decided to give up on life and just fall. So that, yeah, if anybody listening heard that, I apologize. Um, but yeah, circling back to Dynamite, there was one more thing that I wanted to talk about because everything else that happened on Dynamite is um like I talked about on the post show already and nothing too much of importance. Um However, there was another trios match. Hangman Adam Page teamed up with the Ops, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs to defeat the Death Riders, Moxley, Garcia, and Castagnoli. After the match, Hangman Adam Page and Samoa Joe got into a little bit. I still don't fully know what caused the altercation. Because there was a whole bunch of different things. Like commentators were saying that it's because Hangman tagged himself in. And then Hangman was saying that it's because he handed Joe his title and the title fell. Um, Either way, they got really into it. They almost broke into a brawl. And at Wrestle Dream for the AEW World Championship, we have Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe. Um, hell yeah. I'm so down for this. I think this is going to be a fantastic match. Um, don't think Hangman is losing that at Wrestle Dream. He's going to hold on to that title for quite a while. Um, but yeah, what do you guys make of that?
Very excited for that match. Very, very excited. Yeah, so not too much more. Just the fact that's going to be a hell of a wrestling match. I do agree. I don't think Joe is going to win that. I'm pretty certain it will be Hangman. But I said that last time about Joe and like MJF, and Joe won. So it could well be wrong. But no, I agree. I think Hangman probably will. But very much looking forward to that match.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice man on man, meat on meat, brutal match. That is. That's going to be a fun one. I do like the fact we've just talked about this long line of contenders for the AEW title, and they basically booked Hangman against the one person we are 99% sure he's going to beat.
Yeah.
But it'll still be a good match, and a match I think Joe deserves to have. So yeah, whenever Joe's fighting for the title, it's you can never say, "Oh, he shouldn't be." He always should be.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's that. One more thing I wanted to throw in here, just because Mercedes Moné is taking on Jody Threat at WPW Rumble in the Dirt on October 19th. And the reason I threw this in here is because Jody Threat is a former coach of mine, and this just made me so proud to see this that she's going one-on-one with Mercedes Moné. She is currently working in TNA. Which makes this match a little bit more interesting. The fact that an AEW talent is going up against a TNA talent. Um, but yeah, I'm happy for Jody Threat that she's getting this opportunity. I don't know who the current champion is, but if Jody is, then I think that Mercedes is just adding a 10th title to her. Um, I love Jody, but I think that's going to be the case.
No one beats the money.
Yeah. Unless you're Tony Storm.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's the Tony Storm. And then she'll be, she'll be 11 belt Mercedes before long when she gets Batman's utility belt.
And the AEW Women's Championship, and maybe 12 belts. Then she'll just come back to WWE. She'll take off Tiffy, take off Stephanie.
And possibly the AEW Women's Tag Titles if they because they've
Oh,
been
God.
teasing
I told ya, I told ya.
they've
He
been
did.
teasing Mercedes and Harley teaming up. So that might be the case.
I
Oh.
knew it.
See if they did win that as
Regis.
well, I can just guarantee like Mercedes would come out like holding both of the belts anyway, even with the tag team. Like Harley's just all side. Like, she's like, okay, you're just here just so I can enter the tournament or whatever.
It's gonna be Team Hell No all over again. I'm the tag team champion.
Yeah, it will be.
Oh my!
Oh no.
You know what? I'm down for it. Mercedes and Harley. Sure, it'll be comedic. It'll be funny. Why the hell not? If you don't have like anybody else that like you want to put it on, even though I wouldn't mind it being on the Triangle of Madness. But yeah, sure, go for it. Harley Cameron and Mercedes Monet. Why the hell
Joe,
not?
it has got to the point now. I just want to see how many belts we can put on her.
I hate the belt collector gimmick to a point where I'm now like on the complete offside. I'm like, you know what? If we're going to do it, screw it. Just go all in. Have like
Do
Sheamus
it.
from like 2K, whatever it was, like 12, when he just like had
Oh
all
my
the belts.
gosh. What a
Just have
stupid
that.
storyline that was.
There was a storyline in one of the 2K games where generally I think Sheamus won every belt in WWE.
Every single one.
Lost the Money in the Bank briefcase, like, and King of the Ring.
Yeah,
Bit
what
awkward
a
winning in the women's title, though,
stupid
isn't it?
story that was.
I know. Let's just do that with her. Why not?
Screw it.
Man, I forgot about that.
It's just the image of him on the ropes and he has every belt on himself. See if I can find it. I'll send it to the group chat.
And then Triple H comes out and then beats him for the WWE title, but leaves him with all the other titles. Like, um, but that is the headlines of the week podcast. That is all the topics that we have for today. Let us know your thoughts in the comments on everything that we talked about. We rambled on about a whole bunch of different things, but that's what we do on this podcast because especially when a topic's not serious, like when we're talking about, I don't know, NXT, we just go, we just go off the rails. Um, but yeah, that was the headlines in pro wrestling this week. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. On Spotify, if you're listening to this on there as well, you can let us know on Spotify. You can let me know on my TikTok page as well. I go live for all of the weekly shows except for TNA Impact because it is pre-taped. So make sure you follow the TikTok. Make sure you guys go follow Stu World Order and Ruan Wrestling on TikTok as well. They make some fantastic content over there as well. So make sure you guys go check their stuff out also. But yeah, that is going to do it for us for this edition of the Headlines in Pro Wrestling this week. I will see you guys tomorrow night for the Monday Night Raw post-show review. Hopefully with a better episode of Monday Night Raw, but I doubt it. I will see you guys then. And until then, take it easy.